In the first round of this head-to-head comparison between the Pixel 6a and Pixel 7a in low light, the 6a defaulted to night mode, whereas the 7a didn't need to default to night mode. That said, the Pixel 6a was able to grab more detail out of the shadows, and thus the Pixel 6a is the clear winner in the first round of this head-to-head comparison for low light supremacy between the Pixel 6a and the Pixel 7a. What's up, guys? The Pixel 7a has an all-new Sony IMX767 sensor, and many people are justifiably excited with the new larger sensor. But as always, Google's camera performance has just as much to do with sensor tuning, machine learning, noise reduction algorithms, etc., as it does with actual hardware. And in my experience as a professional photographer with almost 20 years of experience, oftentimes the biggest advancement that we will get in regards to one generation of camera to another is in those high contrast, low light environments, and that's why I'm testing the Pixel 7a's new sensor in this situation. Let's jump into picture number 2. Now in the second photo, the Pixel 7a has less noise and better detail overall, but the Pixel 6a has slightly more aggressive noise reduction, and because of how the sensor is tuned, the colors of both of these look identical and the dynamic range is almost the same. It's really hard for me to pick a winner in our photo number 2. Now moving on to photo number 3, this is where we can really kind of see some more of the tangible advancements in sensor technology between these two phones. The Pixel 7a has absolutely destroys the Pixel 6a in the ability to capture detail in this sign. The Pixel 6a has the sign looking just like a white blob, whereas the Pixel 7a allows us to really see a lot more detail. Now in the fourth photo, there's a clear difference in detail that is captured in the shadows, as well as detail retained in low light. The Pixel 7a shows a significant technical advantage in its ability to capture details in high contrast situations just like this. In the fifth photo, we have the same results when metering on the same part of the same subject. The Pixel 7a has less noise and is able to get more details out of the shadow, whereas the Pixel 6a makes all of these shadows kind of blend together and you really lose a lot of detail. Now, I've shown time and time again on this channel that even the most mediocre hardware budget phones, such as a Redmi Note 10 Pro with Gcam, can get something between good and great performance in well-lit, bright environments, even if they have a lot of contrast. This is because the camera does not have to use a high ISO or high sensitivity at the sensor in order to capture multiple images to stack in HDR. Really, the best and most strenuous test that you can give a new cell phone when testing the sensor is low light, high contrast situations like this. And I feel like I can confidently say that after going out and taking a bunch of photos with both the Pixel 6a and the Pixel 7a, that the new Sony IMX767 sensor is on a technical level superior to that of the IMX363, which is kind of like, yeah, duh. That said, it's really impressive that even with the kind of handicap that the Pixel 6a has, that it's able to hold its own with a sensor that's more than 5.5 years old. And it makes me think that we can expect to see a considerable jump in performance with the Pixel 7a as we get more and more updates to the camera, more and more security updates, and just the device begins to age. A lot of that has to do with the noise models that are made in regards to like machine learning and being able to go ahead and decipher what is noise versus what is actual color. Google uses its vast array of photos that are taken with Google Photos, and they are able to go ahead and make the performance of the device better as they get to know how the sensor performs in more different environments. We've seen this with the IMX363, and I think we're going to continue to see this in the IMX767. That said, at $499, I don't think that the Google Pixel 7a is ever going to get as good as the Google Pixel 7. And when you can get a Pixel 7 for almost the same price, it makes it kind of hard to justify the Pixel 7a. Now, I haven't tested the Pixel 7a versus my Pixel 7 Pro yet, but if you guys want to see that, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and follow along for more updates. In the first photo, the Pixel 6a defaulted to night mode, while the Pixel 6a defaulted to night mode. In our first photo, the Pixel 6a defaulted to night mode, whereas the Pixel 7a didn't need night. In the first round of this head-to-head